Title of this one is Trading the American Dream for a Philippines Dream. Stick around.
Hey guys, before we get started with today's video, I just have to ask, please, if you would be so kind, give this video a like and subscribe. It helps the channel immensely and we really appreciate it. Thank you to all who have done so up to now, and thank you for considering doing both of those things today. Without further delay, let's get on with today's video. Hey guys, welcome back to USA to Philippines Life channel. I'm your host Mike, and today we are going to be talking about, perhaps it can be looked at as a exodus of sorts. The amount of guys that I'm seeing that are heading over there and listening to these vloggers that are there already, talking about all the guys that they're encountering over there, that are there checking it out. Why are all of these guys middle-aged, and we're all around the same age? We're all over 40, I'm gonna say. There might be a few that are under 40, but that's probably the exception. Why is everybody trading the American dream for the Philippines dream? I have a few guesses, just judging from how I feel about it. Now, if I wasn't married to a Filipina and have a place over there with her and have things being set up now for my retirement, would I be dead set on going there? Probably not. I'll be honest, probably not. And mostly because before I traveled to meet her, I had really not done a whole lot of traveling, and any traveling that I did was domestic in the US, and I never even thought about, I mean, yeah, it would be nice to go to Italy to see where my family came from and stuff like that, but I never thought about like exploring the world. Meeting her put me on a plane at 1 o'clock in the morning out of Newark, New Jersey, heading to Asia, which I never thought I would do. But that all, in meeting her and getting married and her coming here and us planning now to go back to the Philippines, that's why I'm there. But a lot of the guys that I hear other vloggers talking about are guys that are single guys that are just going over there based on, I guess, watching other vloggers that are over there already and just going over there to check it out, which I would say is a great way to do it, especially if you're not a computer guy and a tech guy and you want to meet a Filipina. You go over there and do it the old-fashioned way and meet the girl over there, and that's a great way to go if you can do that. But for me at the time, that wasn't an option because, again, I'm attached to the hip to this company, to this hospital that I work for. It's all-consuming kind of job, and I wasn't able to do that. But I'm going to talk a little bit now about my feelings and why, because I've been asked, and I've mentioned it before in other videos, from friends, family, coworkers, how could you, and this is what I hear in various forms, how could you leave the USA? I love the USA. How could you leave this country? Don't you love your country? What's wrong with you? And why would you want to go to a third world country like the Philippines and live in a grass hut on the beach? Then this is what people think of the Philippines that don't know. It's ignorance talking. But I think, for me, I think that I was rejected by this country. I think I was rejected by American society. I did everything the right way. I worked. I paid my taxes. I was at my first marriage. Had bought a house, had 3 kids. I was with that woman for, it was a 25-year relationship that ended when I was 42 years old. 15 of it was married, and the first 9 years or whatever it was dating and cohabitating and whatnot. But 25 years. I did everything the right way. went to work. I never was out of work. I was talking to somebody the other day, and they said, "Oh, weren't you ever out of work? Didn't you go through a tough time?" I said, "No." I said, "I've been working since I'm 11 years old." People, "Oh, come on, Mike. How could you be working at 11 years old?" I had a big paper route. The Bergen Record here in New Jersey. I was a paper boy. Anybody remember being a paper boy? Put in the comments if you were a paper boy, if you're about my age and you were growing up and you were a paper boy and you made money that way. Because I did. I had a big paper route, a very big paper route. On Sunday, the papers were this thick, no joke, before computers, when they used to put all the store circulars in there. Yeah, I used to deliver the Bergen Record. It was a daily paper, and Sunday too. So 7 days a week I had to go out after school and deliver the newspaper and knock on doors and collect the money. And it was like a $2 thing, and you'd get to keep like 50 cents for yourself or something like that. Boy, I sound like an old geezer. But that's what it was. I think I was making about $60 a week doing that at 11, 12, 13 years old. Then I started working with a friend of the family, had a landscaping business, and I used to work with him on the weekends and holidays pulling weeds for 20, 25 bucks a day or something like that, which I eventually, when I got old enough, when I was 16, 17 years old, I went to work full time with that gentleman, and I, had learned the trade from a summer youth employment program that we had here in this area, which you'd have to get your parents to take you down to the office at the county capital, sign up, and your mother or father would sign off on it, and then they would put you. I always requested my hometown's park and recreation department because my friend's father used to run that, and I started there actually first. That was a summer job, and I learned how to do all the landscaping there. I learned how to run all the machines, and that's where it all started for me. And I remember one year I saved every paycheck. I was 16 years old. I saved every paycheck from that job, and I bought a Rickenbacker 4003 Jet Glow Black Geddy Lee style bass. I still have it in the other room. It's probably worth about almost $3,000 now. I paid $650 for it back then in 1984, I think. But anyway, back to, I'm just trying to set the stage for how my life progressed and how I've always working and paying taxes and doing the right thing. And yeah, I was an a-hole for a while with the drinking and the partying, but I still worked. I still worked through all those days. But I was always, I want to say law-abiding for some of the substances that I dabbled in back then when I was young and dumb. But funny enough, now they're legal here in New Jersey. So go figure. But and then I met my ex and did the right thing with her. She worked. I worked. We just always did the right thing. But yet, one day, she just decided that she didn't want to be married to me anymore. We had the internet came to be and gave people the ability to go online and meet other people and think the grass was greener on the other side of the street. And I don't want to be married to you anymore because I met somebody else I like better. So 25 years, 3 kids, house, whatever. And then, when you get divorced, it's people become very judgmental of you. So you have that judgmental friends, family, coworkers, and then, you have I live in a state that is not interested in any of the details in why you're getting divorced. It's just, well, okay, Mr. M, how much do you make? How many kids do you have? Do you have health insurance? Okay, they put all the numbers in. Okay, divorce granted. Mr. M, you pay this amount every 2 weeks for the rest of your life. And, now, I survived that. I landed on my feet. I took some years off. I've spoken about. I had friends that were in my life at the time that were married to Filipinas. I got exposed to the culture and my Christian faith at the time, grew in that, and long story short, led me to my wife now. But I will tell you, though, that it was uphill. It was all uphill. And nobody was calling me up, inviting me to do things. I mean, I was like persona non grata. Middle-aged white guy, divorced, middle-aged white guy. I mean, nobody wants to give you the time of day. I just feel like everything is, and I know I'm not alone. And, trying to date around in this country, and I'm talking about my area because I can't speak for other parts of the country, but based on these other guys that are going the Philippines route too, I got to think that it's the same thing. And I remember when I tried dating local women around here, I mean, I met plenty. I met them online, met for dinner, movies, whatever. I mean, I met a couple that I consistently dated for a while, but I found them to be all in various stages of, I'm not going to say what I'm thinking, but they were similar to my ex, what I already had, but, varying intensities, we'll say. And it's also the feminists are something that, changed this society over here from the late 60s. And most of the women here are affected by it. And they act differently. They don't act like women in this country did act 50, 100 years ago. But when we go to the Philippines, we find women that are feminine and do act that way. So I think that is why, one of the reasons why, and we go over and into that Philippines culture and experience it, and meet the women, and also they're very welcoming of us. They don't reject us. Now some people will say it's because you're going over there and spending money, you're a rich American to them, and that might be true in some of the cases. But I mean, I generally, when I'm there, I feel welcome. I feel welcome. And I like that. I like to feel welcome. I don't feel welcome here. And I'm born and raised in this area. I go to a store and I go up to the counter, and it's very rare that someone friendly is on the other side of the counter. I usually get looked at like, what do you want? And it's not what you get in the Philippines. You get, hello, sir. Hello, sir. Hello, ma'am. How are you? Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. You get respect, happy, pleasant, anywhere you go. And I've talked about that before. So I think what that boils down to is a lot of guys like myself have gone through our lives here, and where we shouldn't feel that way, we feel and are, for all intents and purposes, rejected by American society. Because for whatever reason, our marriages failed and we had problems, different problems. I mean, I could talk to 15 or 20 guys from the U.S. that are around within 5 or 10 years, 15 years of my age, that aren't married now, that have gone through maybe health issues, marital issues, maybe they had substance issues and they got over it, gambling issues and they got over it, maybe they lost their money due to economic reasons or losing a job or whatever. But they hit a snag somewhere in their life and they stumbled, and instead of the society reaching out their hand to pick them up, the society is too focused on helping. I'm going to not say that because it's not a political channel, but southern border. Maybe I'll just say that and see what kind of response I get. But, you know, guys like us, we get rejected. We get pushed away. But we don't get pushed away in the Philippines. We get welcomed. We get a hand extended to us. We get a warm welcome. And we feel accepted and welcomed and loved. So I think that's why you're seeing so many guys interested in it. It's not just the Philippines. I know a lot of guys are going to Thailand and Vietnam and Costa Rica and Mexico. So it's not just the Philippines. And then it's the economic implications, you know, where we worked all our lives and our retirement just isn't there. Our Social Security, our retirement. I mean, the Social Security, I paid into it all my life. I told you how long I've been working. I've been paying into Social Security for a hell of a long time. And yet, I plan to take mine at 62, you know, and it's, you know, work till you're almost 70 and get this, or go at 62 and get this. But then at that point, like my accountant's been telling me, go at 62 and try to live longer and you're going to break even anyway. So that's the plan. But I think I just wanted to talk about that because I keep seeing so many guys like myself, and just as I said, I'm on TikTok now, so I'm checking out some other Phil-Am couples on there, and it's just endless. It's such a common thing, and I think it's cool. I think it's wonderful, and I'm so happy to see other guys like finding the happiness like I have. You know, my only thing is I wish I could go there now. But I mean, if I didn't have the job, you know, I'd be there already. But I want to finish. I want to get to a certain point, and I have to finish off some issues from my old life. I have to close the book on some legal matters from my old life, so that I don't have anything haunting me when I'm over in the Philippines loving life, God willing. So that's about it. Please, guys, comment, share this video with other guys that are thinking about going and maybe wondering why should they, or let me know what you think. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do you think I talk too much? Whatever, I don't care. But so that's what was on my mind today, and I hadn't done a video in a while, so I wanted to get on and say hey to everybody, and I did. And with that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up. So please, if you like it, please give it a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It helps us immensely. As we always like to say here at USA, the Philippines Life Channel, wherever you are in the world, whether you're in the Philippines, the US, Canada, Australia, the UK, wherever, stay well, stay safe, stay blessed, and we're going to see you real soon with another video. Take care, and thanks for watching.